Hi guys, it's Wilma. Welcome to a new video. Today's video is an art vlog. I'm gonna be taking you guys along for the start of my third semester of college. I wanted to show you guys the first few art projects I've done and then just like talk about school and art and all that stuff. I don't really know fully what this video is, but whatever. There's also gonna be some hauls and just small bits. So yeah, hope you'll enjoy. Alright, let's get into the drawing portion of this video. So this is the first drawing that I did in my drawing class that I'm taking. So the class that I'm taking is a basic drawing 2. So in my last semester of college, I took a basic drawing 1 class and this is basic drawing 2. So first of all, I just want to mention that ideally I wouldn't take these classes, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm like better than everyone else or something, but I do believe that a lot of the stuff that I learned, I think specifically in the first basic drawing class that I took, it was stuff that I had learned like years ago, ideas that I didn't really need to be taught, techniques I didn't need to be taught. So when I first started that class, I was a little bit like, it definitely felt like my skill levels were a lot more developed than what this class required, if that makes sense. But I still do believe that I was able to enjoy the class somewhat to a certain degree. When you're taking art things in college, like for example, my major is computer graphics, which is like graphic design, and so I have to take all of these basic classes to be able to take other classes. So that's obviously why I have to do this. It doesn't matter what kind of a skill level you have, you still need to take them. Anyway, so the basic drawing 1 class was very focused on observational drawing and doing still life drawings, and it was a lot of big scale drawing. You weren't really allowed to use color except for in a sketchbook that we had to keep, but I never ended up doing that. So it was very focused on still life, big scale, and grayscale. And obviously that's good for a basic drawing class, like you're just learning the basics. But being someone who learned the basics years ago, it was at times a little bit frustrating and boring, I would say, because I kind of just had this feeling of being like, what am I doing in this class? But at the same time, I definitely feel like there were things that I was able to take away from it. I had the opportunity to work on big scale, which is something that I don't do a lot, and I only did still life drawings in that class, and that's not something that I do quite often otherwise. So obviously it had its positives, but overall I just felt like it wasn't always the most fun for me personally. So now I am in basic 2, and this is the first drawing we had to do. So it was supposed to be a drawing that showed the type of style you use, I guess, and then it was supposed to have some conceptual aspect of it, and it was also supposed to show kind of like your interest and stuff like that. So I ended up drawing a stack of books with a camera on top of it, and this is fully done with still life. It's objects that I had in front of me that I was drawing, which was definitely a challenge. But anyway, so when I started the drawing, I didn't really fully know that I was supposed to make it have meaning. Like, I didn't know it was supposed to be kind of like a conceptual drawing. So I basically drew the books and the camera just to like show my interest for reading and for photography. And when I took it to class and got critique on it, he was mentioning like it was a good drawing, but there needed to be more of a conceptual aspect of it, which I didn't really know that was something that I was supposed to do. It was obviously the first drawing that we did. It's kind of, I believe it's just a way for the teacher to figure out the type of skill level we're at and all that stuff. So I decided to draw these books because I wanted to do something pretty detailed and something a little bit more complicated, just to like show that, you know, I can do detailed stuff and things that aren't the easiest to do. And I know that sounds like I'm literally just like trying to flex or whatever, but I don't know. I think that you should always do your best, try your hardest, try to do things that are challenging. And so that's basically why I wanted to do this. And it definitely was pretty challenging to draw the books. I struggled more with some than others. The one that I struggled the most with was the book on top, because on that one you could actually see more than just the spine. I had to draw the top of the book and there was a lot of text on it, and it was a little bit complicated to do that. But yeah, as I said, I wanted to draw these just to show that I'm someone who likes to do a lot of details and I like to challenge myself and try out kind of like complicated things. But as I said, what the teacher said in critique is that there needs to be more of like a conceptual aspect of it, which, as I said, wasn't something that I was aware of that I was supposed to do. So if I would have been more aware of that, I would have probably done something different. But as a first drawing, it was fun. I wasn't really sure what to do for a little bit because I thought that it had to be like fully a still life drawing, and I feel like when you're doing still life drawings, your options are pretty limited. You know, you can only draw what you have and what's in front of you, and it can be difficult to figure out exactly what that is that you want to draw. And so that's partially why I did this drawing as well. And I figured out later that it didn't have to be like fully from life. It could be drawn like partially from life. Some people in my class didn't even draw it from life at all. So I don't know. But yeah, my reasoning for doing what I did is because A, I wanted to show my interest in reading and in photography. B, I chose it because it was like the easiest thing that I could think of drawing. Well, not the easiest in a way that it was easy to draw, but it was an easy idea for me to figure out. And my choice for doing color, as I said, or did I say it? I don't even know what I've said, but that was just because I wanted to challenge myself even more. If there's an option to do color, I'm gonna do color, unless I'm like really tired or something, just because color requires a little bit more effort and I wanted to show that I could put in that effort. So yeah, I really enjoyed drawing it. As I said, there were aspects that I didn't enjoy that were a little bit more challenging when it got to the background, which we'll get there. The background was basically like just the wall behind the objects, and at first I had the idea that I was going to hang up like a piece of fabric behind it to make it not be the wall, so I didn't have to draw like a gray wall. But I did that and it just didn't really look the way that I wanted it to, so I ended up just drawing a plain gray background, which is just the wall behind the objects. And then I was going to do the same thing for the desk, for the wooden desk. I didn't want to draw the wood because in my last semester when I did a basic drawing class, literally every time I did a still life, it was always in the same place and I had to draw that freaking wooden desk, and it was just not something that I really felt like doing again. But I ended up doing it anyway because I couldn't figure out a way to make fabric look good on the table. So yeah, for next time, obviously I would think more about having more of a meaning behind the art piece, but I wasn't really fully aware of the fact that I was supposed to do that for this. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. I thought it was pretty fun, and it was definitely a really good challenge for me. So then I just wanted to show you guys real quick this design project that I did for a class that's called two-dimensional design. We basically drew these rectangles in class. You only had like a minute per rectangle to do something. You had to complete all of them in 20 minutes, and there were 3 different sheets. So on the first one you had to do horizontal and vertical lines only. The next one was diagonal lines, and then the third one was curved lines. And all of the designs had to look different to one another, and they were supposed to be like good designs. And then once you had done that, I did that at school, and then I took it home and I cut out all of the rectangles. And once I had done that, I labeled the order that I had drawn them in on the back of them, and then you had to glue them onto a separate piece of paper and group them into similar designs. So like any design that kind of had like the same theme or the same technique, that was one group. And then you just like labeled the different groups, and I put the number of the order that I had made them in underneath them from lowest to highest number. And I'm not like fully sure what the meaning of this project was. He probably told us, but I just can't remember. But this class has proven to be a very creative class. When I'm doing this voiceover, I've had it 3 or 4 times, I think, and I'm really enjoying it. It's like super different from the traditional art that I'm used to doing, but I'm having a lot of fun. And yeah, this project took me so long to do because I was like measuring out everything to be like perfect. I wanted all of the rectangles to line up perfectly and all of that. So it took me a really long time to do, and I had to do 3 separate pieces of this. So it took me quite some time, but it was a really fun project to do. Hi guys, welcome to the outro. So before we close off this video, I just wanted to show this project that I did real quick. I don't know how well I explained it and if it really made sense, but I hope it did. So yeah, I had to do 3 different sheets of these, and then that was it. But it took me so long to do, and there's definitely some stuff that I could have done differently. This was my first project in this class, so I wasn't sure how to fully do things. Yeah, I don't really know what the point of this assignment was, but you were just supposed to group all of these different designs into different categories. So then, as I said, you had to write the number of when you drew them in. I don't know really what the point of it is. I think it's just to show, like, I don't really know honestly, but this is the first one I did, so this was only supposed to be horizontal and vertical lines. And then we have this one. This one is diagonal lines. So yeah, I just grouped them all into their lines. There's like a lot of space here. I could have definitely spaced this out better. And then the last one is curved lines. I think the diagonal lines is probably my favorite one. This one was really hard to make. Like, I don't know if you can see, well, you probably can. These designs are all so similar, and obviously they're in the same group because they're similar, but the point of it was to make designs that all look different to each other, which that didn't happen with those ones. But you only had 20 minutes to do 20 rectangles, which means the most you could spend on one rectangle is like a minute. So it had to be very spontaneous, fast thinking. That concludes everything that I wanted to show you guys and talk about in this video. I had a pretty good start to my 3rd semester of college. I am really enjoying my classes. It's been a few weeks of school now, but I'm having a lot of fun and I'm learning a lot. So there's definitely going to be more videos of me showing you guys my school stuff. Hopefully you enjoy seeing that stuff and it's not like boring to you guys, but if it is, then That's too damn bad. Anyway, yeah, that's everything. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.